You know, my art looks so much different than my father's art. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason for that. So early on in my art career, right, as an artist, I think I was like maybe 6, 7, 8 years old. So I think around 7, 8, I remember the guy asking me like, "What is it with paint? Why are you painting? Like, why it's so messy?" And he was like, and I was like, why, how would you erase or change what you're doing, or like, what I don't understand. I think he mentioned something that you could always just kind of go over it. Um, so I think painting, for in a sense, is me imitating what I learned, is imitating the actions that my father was taking. So I wouldn't say that I'm a painter. I would say that I'm an illustrator. Like my natural thing to go to is the ink pen, pencil, color pencil, working on paper basically, cotton rag, something paper, something that is gonna soak the medium, right? So watercolor might be my thing. Just never played with it. Haven't had time. So I like keeping things on reserve, so that way life gets fun later, more exciting. Got to keep some things exciting for later. So, but this is interesting. So because why did I make my art go such a different direction than what my father was doing? And that's because I think around 7, 8 years old came a point. I mean, he was drinking at the time, so I think it's very difficult for somebody at a young age to kind of who's not drinking. Let's say if I was an alcoholic's 8 year old, I'd probably had the best time. My pops probably would have been like maybe beating up people, or I don't know what I've been doing, but maybe would have seen some eye to eye thing. But no, we were at different wavelengths. So um, I think that the his desire to try to teach me stuff never went well. He never taught me anything. The only time I had an ability to learn something, which is like from his perspective, me stealing information. So I was stealing the information that he was, because when we were collectively working on movies, I was just kind of following what he was doing, and he was pissed off that I was stealing his information, which is weird because we're working on the same job, and a lot of the time he's getting paid more, and in a sense, I'm basically being like a mini slave in a sense. So that's what the exchange. He's getting some free labor done, right? He's getting a little extra money for the free labor, and I'm stealing the information. Seems like a fair exchange. But also, why not share information? What's so secretive about information? I think part of thinking that there's only one way, saying, hey, there's only one way for art, this is the way, give me your pen, and then forcing someone's pen from their hand and freaking drawing all over their art, right? That's kind of rapey, okay? That's kind of rapey behavior. You shouldn't do that to people, because what's going to cause them to do is, I mean, maybe you do have to do that to people because it causes them to make awesome art that is different than the norm, right? It makes them, from a very young age, strive to sort of prove the parent wrong. Because think about it, especially when the parent looks retarded, when they're wobbling around drunk, like, this is the right way. And you're like, you don't even know what I was doing. You should have asked me what I was doing first, like. And on that note, there's a certain painting that I realized that from work, when I was at work at during lunch at work, I would start my own canvases, my own. Not I would so, and sometimes I would invite people. I would say, hey, so and so, would you like to come paint with me? Would you like to come scribble on this with me? So, and just at festivals. Oh, if you come up to me, you say, hey, I see a walrus, I see a whale. I'd be like, go outline it. You'd be like, I don't even paint. I'd be like, you want to try? I mean, if you want to try, go ahead. You might be like, shit, I love painting. Oh, you're the one who saw the whale. Go outline it. But there's times at work where maybe there was 4 paintings. I'll later I could share which four those are. And there's so only one where me and my pops had some kind of back and forth, one-on-one 50-50 relationship regarding sharing the actual canvases. Started off with collaborating on one piece, where I welcomed him into the piece. Second piece, similar. I welcomed him into. Oh no! Then he decided, hey, let's add a second ceiling flat to this piece. This is actually a movie that Tosca Musk was doing. She did 3 movies. Elon's sister. She directed 3 movies, the Gabriel Inferno ones, and we made some paintings on the side. Well, because we work fast. We're like, let's go do this shit on the side. So, but then winter came around, happened, and I'm like, I might as well take this painting to my studio and keep working on it. So I'm staying up for days at a time, partying hard, tripping balls, which is my way of life at the time, right? So he's very unfamiliar with that. My pops had never once left the nest, let's say, the mental nest, right? Never once left the car, let's say. Things are leaking. He doesn't know what the fuck's leaking. He's just driving. Doesn't even know that that's possible, right? So shame for him at this point. Shucks, missing out, And but fear will do that to you. It'll keep you from living life to the fullest. So, but the point is that came a point where I am working on a painting, okay, and and at no point, like, I mean, I'm working on it, and for me, this is going to be something about maybe the four horsemen of the apocalypse, okay, and maybe death reading a book. Death is reading a book, and I mean, I've portrayed Death, the Grim Reaper, many times. Sometimes he's chopping weed plants because he's got a sickle. He's got to chop some plants. The weed plants need to get harvested. Put Death to work. Fuck out of here. I don't give a shit, right? Makes sense to me. If I saw a Grim Reaper walking around, I'd be like, yo, you want to come chop some plants? Let's go to work. You know what I mean? Fuck, right? Anyhow, so I've portrayed Death catching butterflies. When he's so busy, what is he doing? Catching some fucking little butterflies flying around. He's busy. He's busy doing some shit. Fuck, leave him alone. Stop fucking calling him over. But it turns out, some people, they think they know Death or something. Like, I was working on a painting, and without asking, Pops takes, or supposed Pops, again, hadn't had no DNA test yet. Can't prove it. Can't really prove this is my biological father. You could tell me I'm crazy. You could tell me I'm crazy about it, but why not just prove it and do a DNA test? Somebody's scared, not me. He is. So on that note, takes a pen, or takes the paint that I'm using, right, and on the canvas that I'm working on, and decides to change the skull, the Grim Reaper, and makes it face the viewer. So it goes from facing away to facing the viewer, right? It changes the entire tone of the piece, and to a point where I stopped working on it. I was like, this isn't my piece anymore. So, and then it occurred to me, either, and then I've been like, hey, Nikolai, why don't you go to the community center area? There's a Dell, I think, and draw people. Why not draw people? Like, get to know the community, because they could love some insight, because he's a great draftsman for the people. Like, he drew faces and humans, and very, very great, talented person from Soviet era. And he's like, no. And I'm thinking, whoa, because he gave me his face. He gave me his face unintentionally by kind of accidentally leaving it on my canvas without asking, right? So I have his like skeleton portrait of him looking at death, fearing death or something. I'm not sure what he's looking at. And it also teaches me that what it means to sign something in a way. But like, again, I'm not gonna steal his signature or forge his signature. But what I will do is, when this piece is done, I'm gonna have other people add to it. And because I know he doesn't like to collaborate with people, but now he's gonna forcibly collaborate with people. So, because I'm gonna put this piece up, and I'm gonna tag whoever wants to add to this piece with me, and I'm gonna add his name to it. So, artists of all kinds of backgrounds, artists of all kinds of creeds and religions, and maybe desires, maybe sexual references, artists of different languages, skin colors, maybe, different sexes, right? Artists that experiment with different substances, maybe, who have had different ups and downs in their lives, that have recovered, possibly, right? Different kinds of just belief systems, things maybe he has zero interest in, but he will be tagged. He'll be tagged. His name will be along with the other names of artists with this painting. This will teach him a lesson, to be aware where he paints, because the same way, if you go tagging somewhere, right, your graffiti might end up in someone's photo, and you know that, right? Everyone's aware of that, right? Well, I guess he wasn't aware of that, but now he will be.